In a surprising turn of events, one young lady is getting a second chance at wearing a coveted national crown. Stick around because we're going to talk about the coronation of Miss Earth Cayman Islands 2025. Hey pageant fans, welcome back to another episode of T-Stance on Pageantry, where we talk all things pageant related. I'm your host, Teresa. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. And if you're new here, thanks for joining us. On Sunday, May 4th, the Miss Earth Cayman Islands Committee held their coronation against the beautiful backdrop of Pedro St. James. The event was beautifully set up. They had a nice backdrop with Miss Earth Cayman Islands sign on there and some flowers and some greenery. So it looked really, really nice. Unfortunately, the event was a little bit delayed, and by the time they did start, Mother Earth decided to bless us with her tears of joy, leaving us to retreat inside the restaurant. But nonetheless, it was still a really enjoyable event. Now, the theme of the event was sowing seeds of freedom and sustainability, and they did this in honor of Emancipation Day and the legacy of those who came before us. Now, the reason they did this is because their event was actually taking place on Emancipation Day weekend, so I felt like that was very, very fitting and a great way to show that they are aware of what's going on in the community and that they're willing and able to support the community in our cultural events. And I also feel like it was a great way to tie in Miss Earth and what Miss Earth stands for with Emancipation Day and everything that Emancipation Day stands for. So again, beautiful job there. I thought that was so smart. And in fact, they also gave us a little token. So they gave us these seed stamps right here. Yeah, very cool. And they asked us to participate in a symbolic seed planting. And this was supposed to be done on Monday, May 5th, which is Emancipation Day, but I had to save mine because I wanted to film it. But basically, the seeds are supposed to be representing freedom, growth, and resiliency, again, tying in with the whole Emancipation Day event. So again, I feel like that was really smart on their part. Now, the event was hosted by Chelsea Flynn, who some of you might remember from the Hulu show Secrets in Paradise, which was actually shot right here in the Cayman Islands. She did a great job as a host. She looked very, very stunning. Loved her hair. We also got to hear from the national director, Latrice Haylock, as well as sponsors. And we even got to hear a little bit from Miss Earth Cayman Islands 2010, Samantha Widmer. And in Samantha Widmer's remarks, she really talked about how being Miss Earth had this great impact on her life and how she's been able to utilize everything that she's learned through being a part of the Miss Earth system in her everyday job. I believe she even said that she went on to get like a master's degree in something to do with sustainability or environmental studies, something like that. But it really did have an impact on her, and she really enjoyed her time as Miss Earth. Now, before I get to the announcement of who exactly is Miss Earth, I want to talk a little bit about the crown that they presented her with. This was a pearl crown, which I thought was really unique for the Cayman Islands, just because nobody else has ever had a crown like that, at least that I know of. Most of the queens we have today have colored stones in their crown, so I feel like this is a really good way to set themselves apart from the other queens. And also something unique is that they said the crown, it really represents transformation, resilience, and elegance as well. So I thought that was beautiful. And they even named the crown. It's called the Unity Crown. And again, I think that was meant to tie in with the theme of Emancipation Day this year, which is unity, strengthening our legacy. So again, just highlighting that they are fully aware of what's going on in the community, and they're really wanting to work with the community and support the community in all of our endeavors and our events and stuff like that. So I think that's really, really cool of them, and I feel like that's unique again because I don't think that there's any other pageant on island that names their crowns. I know that there are other pageants around the world that do that, and I think that's where they got the inspiration from, and I love it. I personally love it. I think it gives more meaning to the whole experience. So kudos to them on thinking of that. So after they talked a little bit about the crown, they then revealed who Miss Earth Cayman Islands is.
Your Miss Earth Cayman Islands 2025 is Leticia Bush.
If If you've been following my channel, you know that Leticia Bush was the 2024 title holder for Miss World Cayman Islands up until March 2025, where she was dethroned by the Miss World Cayman Islands committee. Now, I think that this is really interesting. This is definitely not something that I've really seen before, right? Where someone who has had their crown taken away and then is able to receive another crown, and certainly so quickly. So I think that that's really, really interesting. I really think this is a full circle moment for Leticia because if I'm not mistaken, I believe she got her start in pageantry as a Miss Agriculture Queen, and now she's Miss Earth. So I feel like maybe she was really meant to be Miss Earth all along. And I mean, if you think about it, she lost one crown just at the moment when the Miss Earth Cayman Islands committee is searching for their title holder and looking for someone to appoint, and then here she is, and now she's being given this chance. It's like a little bit of divine intervention, if you will. And I think it just goes to show you never know what is lurking around the corner. I think Catriona was the one who said it's never a rejection, only a redirection. You just never know. So very interesting how this all came about. I really do think it has to do with divine intervention and that maybe she was just meant to be Miss Earth. I feel like this to me sort of solidifies or underscores why I feel like having multiple pageants in Cayman is important, just because I feel like every pageant is a little bit different. They all have their own brand values. They all have their own mission statements, things that they believe in. And I feel like if one situation does not work out for you, I don't think you should just give up on pursuing your dream of being a title holder. I just think maybe you need to find the right environment that works for you. And I think that that is why it's important to have different pageants, because I feel like there's something out there for everyone, basically. So that's why I encourage women to do their research, to really understand the pageant that they're entering, and just ask yourself, hey, does this pageant align with who I am? Does it complement, my personal brand, And if it doesn't, that's okay. It just may not be for you, but there is something out there for everyone, I believe. There are tons of pageants out there, and I think it's really great that we're seeing more of them pop up in the Cayman Islands. So I'm fully in support of that. And of course, I do wish Leticia the best of luck. She will be going to Miss Earth towards the end of the year. I think it's possibly in October. So I am looking forward to seeing how she will grow between now and then as a title holder. And in fact, I almost kind of feel like since being dethroned as Miss World, she has really stepped up her social media game. It's almost like she's, I don't know, like a fire has been lit under her. She is just like killing it on social media now. Whereas before, I feel like she wasn't as active on social media. And I think it's really, really important to be active on social media, especially when you're going to an international competition, because you want the attention of fans, of bloggers. You want them talking about you so that they can raise your presence and give you that, that awareness, so people can come to your page and check you out and put you out there. And that's what we need as a pageant country, is more people recognizing our title holders. So I think it's great that she's really, going for it. And I'm really seeing like even the quality of her photos are really good. She's really stepping it up. So that's really interesting to see. So I'm looking forward to seeing how she will continue to grow between now and then. The other thing is that I'm also looking forward to seeing what direction the Miss Earth Cayman Islands committee will take as they get more settled into their roles. In terms of styling, I feel like when you think about Earth, you think about green. I think that's the color that comes to mind most often, but I hope that they will go beyond the color green and really explore and be adventurous with other colors. There's earthy tones. I even think Leticia might be a deep autumn. Deep autumns tend to look good in browns, golds, rust, orange, those kind of fall type colors. Cranberry as well looks good on deep autumns. So I think those are some colors that she could really include in her color palette, her color wheel, and just really utilize them them. And also, if you think about it in terms of the broader scope of the environment, don't just think about greenery, but think about flowers. Flowers come in all different kind of colors. There's marine life that we have here that's really unique and beautiful that could be highlighted in some way. There's also, if you think about earth, wind, fire, water. So there's so many possibilities with the styling that they could take. I'm curious to see if they will go more like soft, demure, and feminine, or if they'll be more ethereal, or if they'll be more va-va-voom, So it's going to be interesting. And of course, this is the return of Miss Earth. So I think a lot of us are going to be looking to Leticia to show us what is the Miss Earth brand all about, and in terms of, their vision and their mission, but also in terms of their styling, like what can we expect from them? So I'm excited to see the direction that this pageant will take. And of course, I'm curious to know if they will continue doing appointments or if they will actually hold a pageant competition for women to enter. So lots of interesting stuff, I think, is going to be coming from them, and I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of when the next episode comes out. And be sure to like this video and share it with the pageant girl in your life. Until next time, have a great week.